What's up, Dragon Ballers? If you're enjoying the coverage of Pro Play Tour Online, quick heads up, you don't have to just watch, you can play in one yourself. Every Wednesday we host a 32-player tournament with real prizes, and every Saturday we host our weekend championship, a 64-player tournament with 100% payout. The more players, the better the prizes. If you can't make it those days, we also host 8-man pods daily, ready to fire on demand on your own schedule. All these events award access to our invite-only Players Championships in May, with prizes supplied by our sponsors. All info and registration can be found on ppgeventmanagement.com. Shuffle up the decks and we'll see you soon.
What is up, guys? We are live here with top 4 from our third ever weekend championship. Thank you guys again for tuning in on this beautiful Easter Sunday. Happy Easter, by the way. I didn't find out until this morning. Well, like by this morning I mean like maybe 10 minutes ago, but yeah. Holy cow, like this is insane. We have StarterKu, aka Soul Striker, in top 4 against Amani Edwards. So we're going to see a lot of cool things here, hopefully. I think it's mono blue base. We didn't see, at least I didn't see much of the multicolor when I saw it yesterday on stream. But shout out to Omega Robin here for piloting this brew all the way up to top 4. There was a decent amount of very top players here today, so shout out to him making it past all of them and facing Amani, the 1 seed, by the way. Amani only undefeated after this tournament, so Soul Striker jumping in as 4th place. StarterKu, Soul Striker, the man of many names, but he is playing the Power Ranger package, which we've seen perform pretty well for him in his matchup against Hit. That was able to really overwhelm that game in the favor of StarterKu. Unfortunately, StarterKu, I don't believe, can untap the black energy. So if he does end up tapping one of these, charging one of these black energies like he just did here, it's not going to look very good for him, or not as fluent. Honestly, sure, he can maybe charge like 1 copy of a black card. 2 is probably too many. But the synergy between this Goku and these Power Rangers is fantastic, because all these, I believe, take 1 energy for their abilities and 1 energy for their EX evolve. So what do you do with that extra energy? Well, you just go straight into the chain. So pretty easy there. So Amani, a little bit of background on this Piccolo deck. He actually played this in the Super Players tournament on Friday. My only loss, I was playing that undefeated Invoker deck. Amani becoming my first loss. This Piccolo deck is just so good. It's not your standard Piccolo deck. I felt like it was a fusion between Successor and Hand Destruction. And it just has so many lines. Like if you're just sitting there not doing anything, the Hand Destruction you and Successor you. I'm not sure how well it does against aggro. I know he lost to Beerus in the finals with this Piccolo deck, so I don't know exactly how he fares against. I know Piccolo normally fares pretty well against aggro, but I don't know, like against something like the Bibbidi deck, which is in top 4, by the way. We have a Bibbidi U3 deck, so it's something similar to Sandy's, if not a carbon copy, where it's just focusing on U3 and no Majin Boos whatsoever. Wow, getting into the Envoy of Justice here on turn 3, and this is pretty hard to deal with so early in the game because of its critical double strike abilities. Obviously, the dual attack and barrier is pretty good too, but what really makes you not want to take that attack is the double strike critical. And we're going to see Amani here play this Dr. Giro, Progenitor of Evil, and that's where I see the main differences in this Piccolo deck, because normally you would see like Android 18 as the super combo, but we're seeing Dr. Giro as the super combo here, and that's pretty interesting to say the least, because that's going to give him full access to cards like Ribrianne. It's going to give him a immediate arrival on Broly if he so does, if he cares to do so. But he's able to also play this Android 15 defensively to kind of just untap his energy, self-awaken, which is really good against decks that aren't like self-awakening you. So not only does he play self-awaken 1-drops, I believe he plays Gohan and Krillin, some number, but he also plays this Android 15, so he has a lot of self-awakening in this Piccolo. And normally Piccolo hand control decks will only play maybe a suite of 1-drop Gohans as self-awaken, but this Piccolo going a lot deeper in the self-awaken package. He really just wants to get to 3. And that's where it maybe makes his Piccolo deck a little bit more aggressive than your standard Piccolo deck, and it's really worked for him. Being able to use Bean and Piccolo's ability on the offense to really keep extending plays is where he really flourishes, and we're probably going to see him do that in some capacity for this matchup right here. Yeah, it's a little bit different than his TOP deck, because I did play him in Top Cut of the TOP, unfortunately. He was pretty high ranked, I was low ranked, so that means he went first, automatically seeded. So I was already off to a bad start, and I was playing Invoker, which wasn't a terrible matchup. As you know, me and Justin Rios were on the same matchup, and Rios made pretty quick work of Amani. Obviously, I'm not as good a player as Justin Rios, so I probably played the matchup wrong, but yeah, this Piccolo deck, I saw it from there, and it is a little bit different. Obviously, you have the new draft box stuff, but it is very powerful. It still continues to be very powerful, and it's interesting that he actually included the Ribrianne package in this deck, because it doesn't seem like it fits, because you're not really going that route, but it does take away resources from your opponent. As you can see here, Soul Striker with 0 cards in hand, but 8 in life right now. And Amani just choosing not to give him any cards whatsoever. Going to 1 card in hand, still 8 in life for Soul Striker. Amani at 5 life and 6 in hand. So a pretty big advantage. When you actually look at it, when you add up the numbers, 5 in hand, 6 in hand and 5 in life for Amani, that's about 11 cards. Soul Striker sitting with 8 in life and 2 cards on board. So the discrepancy isn't too huge, but it's 100% in Amani's hands, as he just has access to more options in hand, where Soul Strikers are just essentially just RNG from the life, and it's really at the mercy of Amani. Like, he can easily just not give Soul Striker any of these cards and just wait for Cell Xeno Secret Rare and just finish the game that way. Obviously, Cell Xeno Secret Rare being one of the premier closers in this Piccolo deck. I don't think he plays anything like Fu Shrouded in Mystery or anything like that. Yeah, I would be interested on how U3 would do against this Piccolo deck, because this Piccolo deck has a lot of self-awaken. It has a lot, but I'm sure Amani is well prepared for it. I'm sure it's kind of, the secret's kind of out of the bag. Cat's out of the bag as of last Wednesday, when Sandy really took the whole tournament by storm with his Bibbidi U3 deck. Yeah, Demigra and Bibbidi are a little bit different, though. I think Bibbidi is just like way harder. Even though Demigra does beat Bibbidi, and we've seen it on stream, just because Demigra can just overwhelm twice and put more pressure on Bibbidi than Bibbidi puts on you, or just crack back a little bit more efficiently because of that 5-card restriction. That 5-card hand restriction, people got to see it. I mean, it is an upside to be able to restock your hand every turn, but you're only at 5. It's kind of like starter Broly, where you're just like, oh man, yeah, I get to draw up to 6, but like my hand size is 6. And it's like, well, I can't really out combo too much with 6 when I gave my opponent 10, 12 cards, you get me? So I think it has some issues against decks that have the damage output and have the non-hand restriction. So I can see where Demigra like checks Babidi, but then Babidi kind of goes wild on this other spectrum, mid-range and above. Does anybody's Twitch constantly keep buffering? Yeah, that's actually pretty important. Let me know if that is an issue, because I know Peter was trying to watch the stream yesterday and something was happening with his stream. I don't know if it was buffering. Okay, everybody, okay. It was also giving me the issue. Like, I was trying to watch our own stream on my phone. Maybe it's because it was on the same Wi-Fi or whatever, but it was really weird. So please let me know if there's an issue. That way I can continue looking into it, like after the stream. But as far as it goes, we have a direct connection, so hopefully it's not too bad. And we don't have the worst internet. Don't have the I don't know exactly. Like at the shop, I know we have a lot better. Stream is fine. Okay, cool, awesome. Okay, so hopefully it's just maybe it's just happening on some. Man, this really sucks for Soul Striker here. That's always been an issue with Soul Striker. Hence, from when Soul Striker was first good, it always had an issue self-awakening. It always had an issue like just getting to the backside so I could start drawing some cards. And at the beginning, if you guys remember, we had to play Results of Training to get Soul Striker on the backside to start netting cards. Otherwise, we were just like dead in the water. And it was just so funny, because you would just get crit down all the way down to 4, and it would just be the worst experience ever if you didn't see Results of Training. Like KO was huge in that format just because it was able to deal with Soul Striker not getting anywhere and just keeping you in the game by always drawing you cards and things like that. Soul Striker showing a few of these problems now here too, and Amani's going to be able to use this combination of Ribrianne, Dr. Giro, and Broly to kind of just keep StarterKu out of, StarterKu out of the game. And we'll see if he decides to go that line. Opting to charge double ape also by Amani, which is really interesting here. Double Broly here, okay. Not sure why he's so interested in... I'm pretty sure he might have a Cell Xeno here. I'm going to say he has a Cell Xeno. And that's 12 right there, so he's ready to go. He has 10 cards in hand. Most likely, yeah. Cell CR has to be coming. There's no way he would be pushing this hard for no Cell Xeno. So he's going to be able to take Soul Striker down to 7 on this attack. Piccolo can go ahead and take him down, put him down to 6. Then the 2 Brothers could put him down to 4. Then you can use Piccolo to warp 2. And then maybe he can resolve a Ribrianne in the drop to discard another 2. That would get rid of his whole hand, and then SCR should be able to finish the game. Hate that format, Mecha Frieza Veggies. Man, I love that format, actually. I did not like the Mecha Frieza Veggies, but I did like the Mecha Frieza... I like the Mecha Frieza Blue, like when you played Encouraging Presence Manaka. But I agree, I didn't like Veggies at all. Like, I didn't like the whole format with Veggies. I agree, I didn't like that deck. It was too like, oh, look at the top 5, I mean top 7 or 10, and whiff or not whiff, or just hit really sacky, and it's just... I don't like decks like that where you're just like, ah, look at the top, 10, and your whole strategy is based on that. Like, your extension can either be just a Kaba, or it can be Kaba, Khalifa, KO, or whatever. And it's just like, what? It's so dumb. And then you cheat it out with Shigesh. Like, it's a little bit too much for me. But I did like Mecha Frieza at the beginning when there was Manaka and Objection. Like, that was good DBS. I think that took a lot of skill. Yeah, he's going to just not let StarterKu have any cards whatsoever. Using Piccolo to keep him in check, using Ribrianne to keep him in check, so that he can effectively get him down to 4 or close to it, so that Cell Xeno can just come in and just take the game. It's pretty much without a doubt that he does have the SCR here. We'll see if he can do anything about it. I believe he has access to getting rid of, yeah. If he didn't, now he does. because he has the 2 green up for the Ribrianne on this Doctor's Row, and the game is essentially over here if he has a Secret, which... Oh yeah, we've had, Shiba, we've had like 2 or 3 a week, and that's what we've been shooting for, 2 or 3 videos a week. I think this past week, we had the Piccolo Maidens, which I actually had somebody come out to like personally thank and be like, yo, your deck profiles are always just insane. I always just play them and they're just so good. Because we put a lot of time into testing the decks before we throw them out there. Like, I know a lot of other people just put out their theory decks and they don't really like practice them too much, or they show test hands of like an ideal curve and it's just like, I mean, yeah, ideally, sure, any deck I can show you and be like, oh yeah, this is the hand that I self-created myself, and you know, it works perfectly. But our decks, we actually like go on untap, play against a bunch of people, make sure that they're actually tried and true to actually play well. But yeah, we played Piccolo, we posted Piccolo Maidens, and we posted Invoker this week. So next week we're gonna work on what exactly is gonna be brewing there. I asked Peter to see if he had, I think he's gonna go with Hatchiyak next week because he loves Hatchiyak. I know a lot of people hate Hatchiyak, but Hatchiyak actually made top 4 at one of our events, and it's insane against all these like crazy decks of Bibbidi and stuff like that. Like, oh, you're playing Bibbidi? That's awesome. Thanks for the buy. Appreciate you coming out, because there's no way you're beating me as Hatchiyak. So Hatchiyak, it might get a lot of stuff, a lot of, you know, negative rep for being like a stally, you know, control deck, but I know he loves that deck. He knows it very well, and I think he's going to post something about that. I'll probably make some updates to my Invoker, if not just make a new deck. I was undefeated with the Invoker deck, and I made it all the way to the top 4. Yeah, StarterKu losing it here, or StarterKu. Unfortunately, Amani just too much control, Cell Secret Rare. He was able to just rip his resources, making sure that he had no negates for the Cell Secret Rare. And it was just, it was an absolute slaughter fest, unfortunately, for our friend in StarterKu. I really want to see StarterKu win a tournament, man. But this was a really unfortunate matchup for him because it seems very like an uphill battle here. And Piccolo just has so many unfair tools at his advantage. Just starting off with the front side. Like, the front side is just incredible. Like, just being able to just filter through, draw extra cards. I don't like this card to put to the bottom. Extremely good. And that's why I picked Piccolo as one of the decks for this weekend, for this week on Patreon, because Piccolo has that ability to just make your strategy that much more consistent and better. And then the backside just has, you know, control written all over it, right? Like, ramp yourself energy against aggro matchups like Bibbidi. You can ramp yourself into a Ribrianne. Ribrianne shuts down the U3 deck completely because they have to deal with a 30k deadly defender that brings out a Piccolo that wipes their whole board. Like, you know, it's incredible. So Piccolo just super premier, and it got me thinking because it wasn't topping any of our events. I was just like, why is nobody playing Piccolo? Why is everyone playing StarterKu, Jiren, and what else was it? Might have been Bibbidi or Demigro. I was like, where's Piccolo in all of this? I don't understand. I get hand control might be a little bit too risky right now because of the whole, if you play against this Bibbidi deck, I laugh at you because hand control does nothing, right? So it's a little bit different. Invoker video also. Yeah, Invoker. Yeah, we did post the Invoker. I might do an updated Invoker because I did change a few things. I know the one that I posted didn't have Protector of the People, even though I was talking about Protectors of the People, because I felt like you can still beat that matchup because you're still 15k in the front and you have Topo. But if they do have Kotsukai, then it's a little bit more difficult. You still have coolers and stuff like that you saw in the deck, but to kind of fend them off. But I feel like there's no reason not to play Protector in that deck because you can just discard it with leader ability. So I just threw 3 in the sideboard, moved Topos to main, and that was able to cover that matchup pretty well. This Piccolo successor deck, I should have also beat in the tournament when I played against Amani. We just got like a really wacky ruling in the middle of the tournament. Like, a judge came in, told us that like after time there's no turns, and we were like, okay, cool. So we played accordingly to that, and then the judge came in and was like, oh yeah, you're in turns. We're like, what? So it was pretty close to, if you guys saw that game. I think it was on live stream. Oh no, it was not on live stream. But we had like 20 people watching it on Untap, so if you were one of those people, It was very hype, very intense for sure. Game 3 down to the wire, super good. Obviously, Amani, one of the best players. He's 2-0 against me now. Very, very good player. It's not until 5:30 p.m. Eastern. Championship round. What do you mean championship round is not until 5:30 Eastern? We're in top 4 right now, so... Oh, sorry. I have to update the round ending. Sorry, guys. That's probably what you're talking about. This round ends in an hour, so at 1:30. Sorry, that was from yesterday, guys. Boop. Have to update that in the winners. There you go, updating. Sorry. This is the top 4, and then finals should start at 2. At 2 p.m. So if you guys are just interested in the finals, 2 o'clock. If not, we have about another hour in this round. They do have an hour and 30 minutes to play off top cut. You have a little bit extended time there. And we're actually thinking about giving a little bit more time for Swiss rounds. It won't make our tournaments longer because of the way we space things, but I believe giving an extra maybe 10 or 15 minutes during the actual tournament would kind of alleviate a lot of the draw situations. I don't know if you guys have ever participated in our events, but obviously playing online, shuffling is obviously a lot faster, but doing other actions online might take a little bit longer than they would in, paper Dragon Ball. So let me know what you guys think in the chat. Would you like 60-minute rounds, keep it consistent with paper Dragon Ball, or would you like 70, 75-minute rounds? Because we're trying to keep the rules pretty consistent, but obviously online is not a thing in paper, vice versa. Yeah, I think I'm going to have Peter do that. I think that's definitely, I'm probably going to message him right now, actually, so I don't forget. Hatch with Power Ranger Core seems insane. Good idea. Thank you. $70, $75. Yeah, 70 would work. Yeah, I think 70 is a little smooth, and then if 70 doesn't work, maybe 75. Because like I said, it does not make our tournaments any longer. It just makes maybe, like if you guys are viewing at home, it makes that time a little bit shorter for you too. So instead of you guys waiting like 15, 20 minutes between rounds, now you're waiting like 5, 10 minutes. So not only does it work for the stream, but it works for the players too. Because when I was playing in a tournament, yeah, we did go into time too. I mean, I think it was a pretty decent amount of time. I think they gave us like 70 or 75 minutes, and I liked that. I liked the 75 to 70 minutes. I felt like that was perfect. Yeah, it is a hidden gem for sure. It's underrepresented, underloved. It is extremely powerful. I like how they're pretty much the whole chain has. Oh no, it doesn't. Oh wow, I thought this one had barrier. Oh, so I think. Ah, okay. The 4 has barrier. The 5 doesn't. I thought all 3 had barrier. I'm like, dude, this is incredible. Your opponent can never do anything ever. Only problem with this one. Oh, actually, no problem with this one. Awesome, 30K. I was gonna say it still loses to like cease to exist. Bunch of these cards that get around barrier, but 25K, but they have to be 25K or less. Yeah, there's not many outs to this. Shout out to all the almost 100 viewers that we have so early in the morning, right off the bat. Really do appreciate the love and support. Please consider using your follow if you haven't. The follow is completely free to you. And if you have Twitch Prime, if you have Amazon Prime, you have a free subscription on Twitch. Consider using that. definitely helps support the stream and everything going on during these times. Plus, you'll be getting ultimate value, right? You're at home all day watching these streams. And now you'll be a sub. And you'll have Peter emote. Speaking of subs, Crimson Mist in the chat showing off his little subscriber badge. 1 month subscriber. Look at this Peter emote. I would just sub for this Peter emote because Peter's awesome. We got to get Peter on one of these streams. He's off on the weekends. That's the problem. So he's never like in the shop to do a stream. Oh, Eldish. What is that? PAX? Yeah, Pack. I love Pack. Pack is awesome. Pack, fun fact, our first Yu-Gi-Oh! Invitational champion. That man walked away with 4 digits in cash, cold hard cash. Great guy. Yu-Gi-Oh! Player. But other than that, great guy. Nah, just kidding. I love Yu-Gi-Oh! Sweet. So straight out the gates here, he was able to get out this chain by turn 3 again. That's pretty consistent. It seems like a recurring trend that he's able to get this 6-drop out on turn 3. So that's great. But on the flip side, Amani has 9 cards in hand and 3 life. I mean, 3 life is pretty low, but 9 cards in hand is insane. With those 9 cards, the problem with Piccolo, especially when you have access to like Goku Ape and Ribrian, those 9 cards can represent 11 or 13 cards. Because each one of those cards can swing the tide in a few ways, right? So it can swing away, it can swing the tide in like using it as part of a combo in a rivaling, or like using it as a surge and then having another use for it in the drop area where it doesn't really count as a card anymore. That's why it just becomes really, really tricky and sticky against this deck, because it's just like, oh yeah, I'm, you know, toe-to-toe with card advantage. And then before you know it, he has like apes, and he has like, oh, Dirty Burst. I like the Dirty Burst in Soul Striker. It really would have helped him on that turn where he was getting double Broly all-out assaulted. And it would have stopped the Secret Rare. Go figure. It would have stopped the Secret Rare there. Many tournaments for the new season of physical PPT. Are you going to be starting the season over when we get the green light for physical events? Yeah, most likely, yeah. We're working with some sponsors on the physical Pro Play Tour. So as soon as there's a lot more transparency and we know exactly what to expect as far as the rest of 2020 and other big events, we'll be able to start. Because remember, everybody's on the same kind of, in the same kind of position. So they're having to now reschedule their events most likely. So now we kind of have to like dodge around other people's events when they reschedule them. So we want to make sure we're not on top of the nationals, we're not on top of regionals, we're not on top of Yu-Gi-Oh! YCSs, we're not on top of Yu-Gi-Oh! Nats or Worlds or Dragon Ball World, you know? So, yeah, after all the dust settles, after all the dust settles, I said it again, settles, we'll be able to reevaluate the season and kind of see what weekends are available. Maybe everyone's trying to jam their things for 2020. Maybe it may not be able to even happen in 2020 because everybody's just taking every weekend. I don't know. There's a lot of question marks right now, man. I wish I could say with confidence, but regardless, we will continue to adapt and change, just like how we brought the Pro Play Tour online to make sure that you guys have content to see, tournaments to participate in, and if it means we just do the whole season online, you know, so be it. Yeah, Dirty Burst is great. Like, holy cow, I just realized, I'm like, dude, how does he stop? Like, what could have he done that first game? And what he could have done is just Dirty Burst, and Dirty Burst just stops everything. Like, it stops the Broly all-out assault. If you stop the Broly all-out assault, you also stop Secret Rare, but he can even like be like, oh yeah, the all-out assaults are all good. Okay, cool. Sell. Yeah, I'll just Dirty Burst to sell. It's just like, all right, you got me. And it's cool because the Dirty Burst will get around the discard 3. And if you Dirty Burst early enough in the turn, it doesn't matter if your opponent discards your hand. Because as soon as they play one Broly or something and you have a few cards in hand, the problem is that Soul Striker keeps running out of cards really fast, and I think it has to do with him playing either little or zero Self-Awaken. I believe he's playing zero Self-Awaken, which is really just the issue here if that keeps happening. And obviously Amani, an experienced veteran player, you're not going to give Soul Striker the cards if you know you have an auto win in your deck. Yeah, we might do something big at the shop too. That's also an option. Because that way we don't have to like book a venue anywhere, right? Playing Pan, he keeps getting hidden potential. Oh, he's playing Pan. Okay. Yeah, that's the only card that Piccolo really has as a really good target is the Pan for hidden potential. So he's got to play it into. Remember, Amani's energy is weird in this deck. So if he just plays around with it, then it shouldn't be an issue. But it's hard when you only have that one shot, right? You're just like, well, I have this one shot to play Pan. If I don't play it, then I just lose. Or get it discarded, right? So it's not the easiest problem to solve, 100%. But like right here, he doesn't have Pan represented. Or hidden potential represented. So hidden potential cannot be represented with his current energy right now. Results of training. Results of training would be insane. I mean, it's not out of the... I mean, by turn 5, games finish up, though. I would like to see a result of training for every deck for turn 3. I think that's fair to say. I think every deck should have a result of training on 3. So, older leaders, like this StarterKu, can actually just like, boop, I'm awakened. Yeah, I know I'm an older leader and I lack all these things to really self-awaken me, but because think about it, with the newer decks, they'll just be like, I laugh, I don't need a result of training. I'm Jiren, I self-awaken. But for older leaders that are trying to come back, like StarterKu, it's like an uphill battle because they can't self-awaken effectively. And I think for 3 is good. I mean, results of training essentially is 3 energy. It's just costs 5. So you got to pay hard 5. Then you what, untap 2? So I mean, at the end of the day, you paid 3, but you had to wait till turn 5. I'd rather just pay 3, right? The at all cost is kind of because of hidden potential. Like, do you really want to pay 4 to get counter for 2? Hidden potential, in my opinion, is just really, 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 really strong. Like a little bit too strong. Amani now going in at 1 life. He's going to have to deal with that Envoy of Justice. Or just kill Soul Striker on the spot, which I highly doubt he can. Because he's at 8 life. I wonder what's in Amani's yard, though. Oh, he has a Ribrian off Rip. We already see he has one there. So yeah, he's going to make him take the 2. He's probably going to use his last 2 energy, make him discard both. He still has a Piccolo activation if I'm not missing anything. So that represents another 2 cards. It looks like he is going to use Piccolo here to make him rip the last 2 cards and bring him to warp instead of using his energy. So he might be wanting to use his energy here on something else. He can very well still have a Broly all out assault and secret rare here, and I wouldn't be surprised. He passes his turn. Okay. He does have 2 energy up though. He's still representing a hidden potential, and Soul Striker's gonna kind of be aware of that. Soul Striker's gonna skip his charge phase. Barrier of Hope. That's awesome. That's exactly, well, not exactly what he needed, but that's not a bad one to get off the top. That's going to be a draw 2 and a momentum swinger for Soul Striker. He's going to get that Broly all out assault off the board. He's going to draw himself up to 2 cards. Unfortunately, he has no blue open here, so even if he had an Awakening Talent Pen, it would not do anything, as well as kind of staring in the face of a hidden potential here. But all he needs to do is push through this Envoy of Justice, but he kind of gave him back a Broly here, so it might be a little bit difficult because, oh, actually it has Barrier. Just kidding. I was gonna say, if he goes all in on this Envoy, he might just get punished by the Broly, but cannot get punished. Barrier is a thing. Can he take it with 2 cards in hand and 7 life to Amani's 11 and 1? What happened to Chris and Thomas? They forgot it was Easter and they had to do stuff. I was like, no. What happened? But yeah, they were super excited to come back today. They were just like, Thomas, something came up. He had to do something. And then Chris was like, I forgot today's Easter. I got to go like, do with my parents and stuff. And I was like, hey, I cannot. Yeah, opposite. For sure. I didn't know it was Easter either, but I'm trying to stay away from my family because obviously they're in that range that they get the virus. And I just don't want to risk it, you know, like any type of risk. I don't think I'd be able to live it with the rest of my life knowing that I was the one that gave it to them or whatever. Vice versa, right? Like I give it to my wife. My wife is super, like if she gets it, she's dead. Knock on wood, she doesn't get it, but the doctor pretty much told her that. So I'm trying to stay, you know, away from that possibility. All right, here comes the second attack here. Can he defend another 30K? And if I am Omega Robin here, I am dumping. Yeah, actually it has dual attack. Amani just found out that this had dual attack. Holy cow. Oh, that's not a good time to find out that he has dual attack. Not a good time. Omega Robin just saying, yeah. Yee. Dump. How did I forget that fast? Does Amani not have an answer? Oh, yeah. If I get the virus, game's over. Virus is dead. I mean, shop's done. PVG. It's a wrap, boys. This is good while it lasted. Nah, I should be okay. Knock on wood if I get it. I don't think I'm super vulnerable in my current age and health status. And Amani loses to the Envoy of Justice. No response to that 30K massive attack. Wow. Soul Striker takes it with 7 life. He had 7 life. Amani had 11 cards in hand. Incredible. Soul Striker. Imagine what he could have done if he was awakened. Oh my goodness. That's just dirty. Amani still had 2 energy open that also with 11 cards in that. 2. Just think about that for a second. Piccolo. Awakened, his engine going, Amani knowing what he's doing, 11 cards in hand, 2 energy. Uh-oh. Turn the music? I'm sorry. Music too loud? Is that a little bit better? I hate it when there's no background music, and I can never gauge what's enough, you know? I'm usually overshooting it. That was crazy. That was incredible. Wow. Amani really going back to the drawing board now, just contemplating his life. I don't even think he's sideboarding. He's probably just like pulling up the card on like TCG Player or something. He's like, hold on, let me read this guy again. Yeah, he probably had too many. I mean, he's playing Predation, which is that's not normal for Piccolo to be playing Predation. And I feel like that's a little bit greedy. I mean, don't get me wrong. He's got Saiyan Instinct Ape, which is arguably better than Predation, because you can use it to combo, and it gives you that yellow for the arrival when you're just like having to like combo Ribrianne, Ape, and then you just go into that. Maybe you just use it for like energy fixing. I'm not sure, but yeah, he does play an above average of extra cards, just solely in the Predation from the top of my deck, from the top of my head. Piccolo didn't draw or didn't side in Artificial Impact. Artificial Impact is a card, and that should be found in every Piccolo deck for sure. That card is incredible with dealing with literally anything. I don't think there's a card that Artificial Impact does not deal with. And it's definitely one of my mainstays in Piccolo. Minimum of 2. I think I go 3 actually in every Piccolo deck. I don't care if I'm hand destruction or not. I'm just playing Artificial Impact. That's definitely the... I think it's... it might be better than Artificial Impact. I mean, it might be better than Cease to Exist. I'm not sure. That's a tough one. I'm probably going to have to give it to Artificial Impact just because it kills it. Kills it no matter what. Cease to Exist is just 25 or less. But it does deal with 2 threats through Barrier. Cease to Exist does. So those are the only 2 that I mean, I don't know. It's probably Artificial Impact. You think so? You like that Android 18 that discards an extra card? I don't like that card. I like it in Gohan because, like, you draw your 3 feats and you're like, well, all I need is one of these guys. I don't know why I need all these feet. So I like it a lot in that deck because obviously you want to be comboing here. But until there's a deck that really wants extra cards in the drop area, you know what? The Android 18 actually might be really good in Invoker if there was space in that deck. But I don't think Invoker ever goes over 40, even with the new rule changes. I don't think you want to play more than 40 in Invoker because you need to see Secret Rare. Like, you need to see Secret Rare or you're not winning the game. And it's just, you got to keep your deck consistent, so. Is the music better now? I hope it is. Sorry if it was too loud before. Nobody said anything. In a situation of Piccolo, will have too many extra cards in hand. True. I mean, what extra cards are you playing, though? Because, like, Cell Kamehameha is combo, effectively. Special Beam Cannon, combo, effectively. Dimension Magic and Sacrifice, you don't need combo because those are negates. So they already, like, kind of solve your combat. So, I don't know. Like, what do you really need it for? I mean, unless you're really going deep with this whole, like, Predation card. And I've never seen him cast this card. I've only seen him charge it. How many people? There was 25, I believe, in the beginning. This was one of our smallest weekend championships. We normally have 36. So this one was only top 4, which is why we started off with top 4, because there was only 25, I believe. So top 8 still got prizes. We still gave out 100% of the prize support. Of course, the prize support gets bigger as we get more players. Guys, check out the tournament series now if you haven't already. ppgeventmanagement.com. Join the Discord channel. You'll be able to, if you just want to get into online gaming, as far as like finding a community that you can play against, getting pickup games, playing in the free events. You don't have to play in any of these that actually cost money if you don't want to, but it's definitely great to just at least keep Dragon Ball as something that's relevant to you. And I think it's the best that we got at the moment. And we haven't really had issues at all with any of these tournaments. We've had the smoothest tournaments. Everything finishes when it's supposed to. There's no delays. When one crashes, you go to the other one. Pretty well managed, if I say so myself, honestly. We've heard it from multiple participants. They've been super appreciative and super responsible on things that they liked. We haven't heard many, if all, anything that people didn't like. We actually usually take the initiative before other people point it out. So we are, by the way, changing the rounds to 70 minutes. I think that's worth the experimentation. It's not going to affect our tournament timetable, so we're always going to finish our tournaments by 6 p.m. or so. It'll just give players 10 more minutes to play, and also give them 10 more minutes for you, the viewers, to watch a little bit more content. So I'm going to go ahead and post the Discord link in the chat so you guys can join the Discord. It's free, and it's great because you'll get the notifications every time we have signups available. It'll also give you one-to-one interaction with each one of us. I know you guys have tried reaching out to us on Facebook sometimes or whatever. Usually we're pretty good with getting back to people, but joining the Discord's great because you're in the middle of the action. Whether you're participating or not, you have access to the Discord. So definitely join that if you haven't already, in the description right now. Looks like he's going to go for an early Broly arrival here. And he's going to pop the 5-drop now that he has the opportunity to do so. And Soul Striker, that has to hurt. That has to hurt. Nico-san, you should probably talk to Pat O'Neill. He loves that deck. I love Android 21 too. When it came out, the one that came in the booster, not the starter deck. I was never a fan of the starter deck one. I get it. It's supposed to be an aggro deck. I just don't like aggro in general. Like, I just never play aggro. So off the bat, I think, he's going to be able to have an opportunity here to play an Awakening Talent Pan, which is actually going to be pretty huge because now Amani just wants to always keep up blue-green. If he doesn't keep up blue-green, Soul Striker is going to continue to be able to self-awaken, and we have not seen a game where Soul Striker actually gets to awaken, and it's so frustrating, but that's what Piccolo does. And hopefully we see an awaken here for this game number 3, because that would be epic. If we see an awakened Soul Striker battling it out with everything, I think Soul Striker takes that. On an even playing field where they're both like awakened, they got their things going and rolling. I think Soul Striker legitimately has a chance to take this over one of the best players in the game in Amani. Amani already down to 3 life here. Yeah, that's why I like Scheme. Yeah, Scheme is insane. It just slows aggro. I like the untapping 1 on your opponent's turn too. That's good. That's huge. Like, both of those abilities are great. I can try to like rework Android 21. I don't know. I just haven't like looked at it at all. I haven't tried. I'm sure there's something there for it. That new championship pack promo is insane. That's incredible. Card's great. But is it enough? I don't know. The new Topo League. Yes! 100%. Topo was actually a deck that I was going to build actually this week for Patreon. Now that you make me remember. Because on Friday, when the news dropped about Topo and Vegeta Leader as a new Unison, and the new Unison cards, I was like, dude, I'm going to make Topo. Topo looks incredible. I'm never losing to like any Arrival deck or any like U3 deck. Like, ever. What? I'm not losing to Overwhelm decks. I'm not losing to nothing. What are you losing to? Now you just have to be a control leader with a yellow leader. Like, yellow, it being a yellow leader, that typing already puts it very high up the food chain. Yeah, the 21 trial deck is supposed to be loop aggro, you know, with Android 21, new start, and all that stuff. That's just not my playstyle, you know? But yeah, Topo, 100%. I'll build something. I don't know if the cards are available to test online yet, so it might have to be a YouTube deck if I can't test it. Can Kaba or announcer use the Vegeta Unison card due to not being a battle card? I would say yes, Ruby Orchids. I would say you can use that. But I don't know why Bandai does this. Like, give us all the information about this card that you made. Because while you were playtesting, you must have had these questions or answers, like, you know? But they didn't give us the full shebang. We don't know what the dealio is. Like, give us more information, please. It's your new card. I don't know what I can do to it and what I can't do to it yet. I have very little information. So it makes it a little bit difficult, you know? And I know they answered like some questions in the comments, but those are things that you should have on an FAQ on Unison and say it immediately, you know? Not just be like, yeah, this is it. Here's a few questions that were, I think it caught everybody off guard on those, on like some of the responses. But even so, there's still not enough info. It's not enough. Piccolo taking his turn here, and let's see if he's going to take the more aggressive approach here, or is he going to continue? Because right now he has no targets to attack. So Piccolo has no other way, really. Like, he can't attack into a battle card. It can try to set up Cell Seeker Rare. Obviously, he has the ability to do so as early as this turn if he likes to. Ideally, he's going to want to wait till next turn to Cell Seeker Rare because he'll be able to rip 3 cards. But Soul Striker's sitting with 8 cards in hand. He has almost as many cards as Amani. Honestly, if you do the math, they have the exact number of cards, except Amani's up with the 3 cards he has on board. Amani's sitting at 2. That's pretty dangerous. I think Soul Striker can have a turn if he gets an Awaken where he can just go to the 5-drop next turn. I'm pretty sure that's easy for him to do, especially with the whole untap 2 on the attack. He just needs to be awakened. And Amani needs to make the decision here. Does he want to give him the Awaken and get him close to death, or does he want to keep him at 6 life and make him work for his own Awaken? It's pretty murky because Piccolo's sitting at 2 here. So he would have to take a defensive stance here or an aggressive stance. And we'll see what he chooses to do. He's charging a sacrifice, so that already immediately might tell you a little bit of information on how he's going to approach the turn. And he's already tapping 3. And he's tapping 3 for a successor. He's going to put Soul Striker down to 4, and he's going to take the aggressive stance here. He's going to crit him down to 4, so Soul Striker's not going to see those lives. Android 17's not going to be able to rest anything, unfortunately, but he will get a draw, and it will be a 30k critical attack. Now, if you're in Soul Striker, you're okay with awakening on this attack because you're a draw 2 leader. So he will most likely awaken and draw 2. Oh, he can also search for an energy. Yes, you're not wrong. He can search for an energy and go into Secret Rare here. He's not going to be able to here because he doesn't have the appropriate numbers, but he can still make that play happen with an Android 15. If he plays his Android 15 somehow off this Awaken, he can actually Secret Rare him, and he probably will. Amani Awakens, put the energy down. He can have, yeah. He needs to have a 3-drop. Oh, he's playing the Ribrian. Awesome. Thank you. People are noticing. Ever since, bro, nobody was playing this card. I had to make a Patreon video with it in the thumbnail for people to be like, oh yeah, that's right. That card's pretty good. Yeah, that card's pretty good. I don't know what it gets back in Amani's deck, but you play this with Piccolo Assimilated ability? Holy cow. Wombo combo. Yeah, people did not know. I promise you, nobody knew about this. I had to make a deck profile with it. And then apparently everybody's just like, oh yeah, Rip. What? This card's great. 30k crit. Soul Striker's probably just going to awaken here. Draw 2. Unfortunately, it's not an untapped 2. I'm pretty sure it's not an untapped 2, right? 4 last, draw 2. Yeah, draw 2. Okay. I mean, he has to take it here. Unfortunately, Amani does represent game here. But if he has Cell Seeker Rare, like, you have to take this damage. You don't want to lose combo power and then lose to a Seeker Rare. Okay, Awaken. I'm like, why is he drawing 2 Awaken? So he's going to go ahead and Awaken. Go ahead and take that damage. I think what Soul Striker needs to do is just be ready to beat Amani next turn. If he can't beat Amani next turn, then it's probably over. But Amani might have a really big turn here just because Piccolo can just be unfair and ramp you in energy. And that's super incredibly annoying. I've lost to that ability more times than probably the Warp 2. Being able to ramp in energy is just, it lets you play unfair cards. It lets you play Sensu Bean when you're tapped out. It lets you literally go from like 0 energy to 3 sometimes. Oh, and a Zamasu super combo. That's going to get him out of some damage. That was great. It blocks an attack, gets him out of damage. Man, this Zamasu super combo does not get enough love, by the way. Not enough love. Incredible combo card. I'm not sure if he's playing a full playset of that or if he has some type of split. By the way, guys, deck lists are now live. I will leave you the link in the description down below. You can see the bracket and you can see the top decks. You just gotta click on the exact weekend. So obviously this is April 11th through 12th. So you click on April 11th through 12th, you'll be able to see all the top decks and you'll be able to see the bracket as it's playing out right now. I believe they should have top 8 decks in there as well. So you'll see everybody who actually cashed by the time that this is done. But I think they only have top 4 for now. But I think later today, they'll finish with top 8. And they'll put them on there. That way you can see what decks actually made money. What decks actually cashed out. And you'll find it all on ppgfmanagement.com as well as the tournament sign-up. So if you guys want to sign up for tournaments, all you got to do is upcoming tournaments or upcoming events. Drop down menu, boom, you're all set to go. And it looks like he is going to go for the chain here. Let's see if he can actually make it resolve. Amani did not have 2 energy, it seems like. Wait, is it still Amani's turn? No. Right? Okay, cool. Wow, that Zamasu might have shut down Amani's entire turn. I did miss his counterplay, I'm sorry. But I think that Zamasu might have shut down Amani's entire turn because I think he was planning to attack with the Broly and then bean it or something. And he didn't use Piccolo ability. That's pretty interesting. Okay. But man, Soul Striker in a commanding position right now. 8 cards in hand, 3 life. Untapping 2 that ability. I think he can go all the way up the chain here. Can he not? What is this? 1, and then the other one is 1 also. The 4-drop is 1, the 5-drop is 1, and the 6-drop is 1, right? So he can still do it here if he really wanted to. He needs Sensu, okay. Oh, one of them costs 2? Oh, that's devastating. Oh no, Amani's gonna open up the potential for a hidden potential here. I wonder why he untaps the green over the multicard. Man, that's unfortunate. Gonna use lead in battle. Okay. Let's see if he chooses a ramp here. Oh, warp 2. Okay. 2 out of the 8 cards are going to be gone for Soul Striker here. Can he close out the game, though? Amani's at 2 life. I would assume Amani's going to take this one, save the combo power for the last attack, and Amani will be sitting with 11 in hand. This is an insane game. He's going to warp an Awakening Talent Pan, which is, I don't know about that one. Hasty Dispatch, Dispo. I just realized it has dis twice in this name. Hasty Distis. Let's see if he can take it. This is a really good game. This is really good. This is game number 3, guys. For you, those of you just tuning in, we're in the top 4 of our weekend championship. We have Amani Edwards and the rogue competitor in Soul Striker. Soul Striker taking game 2 with 7 life. Amani taking game 1 in stunning fashion with Cell Secret Rare. Let's see if Soul Striker can finish off this game because Amani right now on his back foot. He just used a bean to get out of the Soul Striker attack. Does this Soul Striker not gain 5k? Yeah, it does. Did he combo something else? How long until game? What does that mean? We have 24 minutes left in the round, if that's the question. In Top Cut, you get an hour and 30 minutes as opposed to the normal 60 minutes, which we're upping to 70. So from now on, you'll have 70 minutes in the round for our online tournaments. That will not delay our schedule, so we will be able to finish our tournaments the same time that we normally always finish our tournaments. But you will have more time to play in the round, and you'll have more content. You'll have less commercial breaks. So hopefully that lightens things up. Well, that wasn't supposed to happen. LOL, he charged. Oh. Did he pass turn? He passed turn. No way. How did he pass turn? I'm just mind blown. That hidden potential really got him. That hidden potential was... Wow, and a D-Magic coming down here. He's going to be able to restand 2. Had to take a life for that, so he's down to 2. Amani might be smelling blood in the water. Might be time to go, go, go. Can he wrap up the game? Amani still has 11 cards in hand, so he has quite an arsenal at his disposal. How will he get himself the win in this turn? Does Soul Striker have another negate to the Broly? Does Soul Striker have Dirty Burst? You know how incredible Dirty Burst would be here? The suspense is killing me. Amani, make your move. Attack with SS Broly. All too easy. That means no matter what, Soul Striker will have access to another negate this turn. And more importantly, Piccolo does not have a combat step to a rival. That is huge. Amani's going to have to hard cast something and attack. And at that point, Soul Striker can then choose to negate or just wait for the Cell SCR. Is this going to be a Ribrianne from the drop? What's happening with this 2 green? Oh, it's only once per turn. Oh, no! All right. He can't Dirty Burst counterplay anymore either, I don't think. I think Dirty Burst counterplay is 1 or 2. Dirty Burst, Dirty Burst, Dirty Burst. That's too small to see. I don't know. It might be a 1 counterplay. Is it 1 or 2, chat? 2 for counterplay. Yeah, that's what he needs here, the counterplay. If he doesn't want to lose to, like, Secret Rare. I mean, I don't think he can at this point now. Oh! He passes his turn! Oh, Amani passed his turn. Cutting off the combat destroyed his turn. There's no way. He still has 3 energy up, though. Do you have the hidden potential? No counters! Amani doesn't have another hidden potential. He's going to go all the way up. He's riding the chain. But is it enough, though? Amani still has 11 cards in hand, guys. Envoy. Is this over? Soul Striker's going to take the lead here. He's got to be careful. He can actually just take both of Soul Striker's cards here with the Piccolo ability. He had to have attacked with... Oh, okay. He baited out in a gate. That's fine. He can't Piccolo here. Is he going to discard for Protector of the People? He does. He discards Ribrianne. Protector of the People is now going to trigger. That's pretty funny how he used a card with this guy on the... What's this guy's name? Katopesla? Katopesla. He used a Katopesla. Oh! Kotsukai. Terrible with these names. Kotsukai. He's going to put 2 back, draw 2. It's going to let him spin the wheel a little bit. Just spin the wheel a little bit. Find something better. Let's see if it's super combo off the top. That'd be nice. Envoy into Piccolo. Piccolo's going to gain a 5k boost thanks to Protector of the People every time that he attacks with a battle card. Can he push through? Dimension Magic! Does he still gain the 5k though? Chat. Does he still gain the 5k? Yes? The answer is yes. That was a value Dimension Magic there. Envoy of Justice. Can he connect? This is the game-ending swing. It doesn't seem like Amani has a negate, or else it would have came flying like a spaceship out of his hand. What is Amani's response here? The suspense is killing me. Do something. There's no way. What are you thinking about? If you have a negate, just do it. Just do the negate. 25. It's not going to be too much a combo with 2. If you think about it, Soul Striker only has 3 cards in hand. What can this really possibly get up to? 35, 40, 50, 55 on average? 50 if they're all 5Ks. 55 if he has a 10K. Remember, super combos are not drawing him cards. He has the negate! I'm done. Wow. Saves himself. And Soul Striker now has to pass. And Amani has the ability to close out this game. Amani has to have the game now. Tenkaichi, remember, Amani had 9 cards in hand last time with 2 energy up and cannot out-combo a Envoy of Justice lethal swing. So it's not unrealistic. He wasn't able to do it last time. That's why he was probably thinking so much. He's like, I wasn't able to do it last time. He's going to use that Ribrianne off the Protector of the People last turn and get rid of 2 more cards from Soul Striker's hand. Looks like the game is all but over for our Soul Striker Dark Horse. 1 card hand, 2 card life. Piccolo's going to rip that last card with his last activation, and all we need is a double striker. Or that. Oh, true, and had 25k leader. You're right. The 25k, the extra 10k on the leader was a little bit significant rather than last game where he didn't have the 10k there. still 55. I mean, I don't know. He could have not had it. He is playing a lot more extra card. Look, he's playing Sacrifice, Predation. He's playing a pretty good amount of stuff. What does this do? During your turn, when your opponent plays a battle card, your opponent chooses one card in their hand. Oh, it's only when they play a battle card during your turn. Okay. Yeah, it looks like it's all but over, unfortunately, for Soul Striker. He's going to go for 25 crit. He doesn't need to do anything else. Remember, Soul Striker only has a 5k on board. So he can't. Even if he out-combos this, he cannot prevent the damage. And now the Piccolo just needs to... You just got to throw a 5k, 10k, and it's over. That is it, ladies and gentlemen. Soul Striker's run is done. We're going to see what Amani faces in the finals. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with the finals of the third ever Weekend Championship.